Okay, I'm back again with a quick review, this time on the Rayovac SEF2AA-B. This is their Easy Focus Spotlight to flood. This is part of their Sportsman xtream line. They make a ton of great flashlights under that line, but this is their 2AA light. It's pretty powerful. It produces 130 lumens, has a pretty bright LED. It's sort of a cold color though. Sometimes it looks purplish as far as the beam, purplish bluish sometimes. I'm not too sure why it does that, but I checked out the reviews on other websites and other people seem to record the same issue. It has a 400-foot throwing capability, and that's not an overstatement. That actually is true, since this light has gone through the ANSI standards. So that's very important when looking at a new flashlight. It has to go through the ANSI standards so that you know that the specs you're seeing are actually true. As far as what I took it out to maybe most 70 or 80 feet. I took it out further than that off of camera, and I would say out to about 200 feet it does fine, but after that it really starts to dim off. It probably can reflect an object at 400 feet, but definitely not something that you should consider if you're going to do any type of wilderness stuff or go in the forest. You might want to bring a bigger light, but it is good enough for most tasks at home. It's good enough to keep in your glove compartment in case your car breaks down. You can see quite well with it, and checking out a noise in your backyard or something. What's nice about the light is that it's regulated. That means it has constant output through most of the battery's cycle life. What I found is that it runs for about 5 hours bright, and I mean really bright, like as bright as it was when I first put the batteries in, all the way to about 10 hours is still semi-bright, still plenty of light, still plenty of throw. And then after that, all the way to 14 hours is pretty dim, but still usable light. You can do up-close tasks with it. Maybe in a completely dark situation, it might throw a little bit further, but still very usable light. What I found is that it works best with rechargeable batteries versus alkaline batteries. It does come with two Rayovac brand batteries. What I went ahead and did is put in two Rayovac rechargeable batteries, their own 2100 milliamp hour hybrid battery, and that's when I got my run times from the 5 hours bright and the 14 hours total usable light. The flashlight is also anodized, although the anodization is a little weak. You can see I have two marks here, and that's down to the aluminum coating. And all of the flashlights I test, because I test tons of flashlights from just about every brand out there, I do the same testing on, put it in my pocket with my multi-tool, keys, pocket change. I only carried this light for a couple of days since it is a 2AA light that I normally don't carry, but I did anyway to test the coating. And just within 2 days it got that damage. Didn't really damage anywhere else, but I did notice that it's not too hard of an anodized coating, so that's something to think about. I don't mind a flashlight getting scratched up. I have plenty of scratched up flashlights. If you actually use your lights on a daily basis, you won't mind that, but just something to note. So as far as the dimensions, and I'm going to get into showing you around the light in a second, 6 inches tall, has a diameter a little over an inch, and it weighs 6 ounces with the battery, so it's pretty lightweight. Again, not something that would be good for EDC use since it's pretty tall, but if you want to carry this in your pocket or in your glove compartment when you know you're going to need a flashlight, it's definitely nice and lightweight for that. So as far as the price, because I'm pretty sure that's what you guys want to know, this is between $25 and $30 right now on Amazon. I believe it is $27. Great price for this type of light. It has a pretty good output, 130 lumens, again with the ANSI standard, so it actually is putting that out. Really great throw on this light. Again, I tested it out to about 70 feet, and then it can go out to about 200 feet worth of usable output. So let's take the light apart and show you the inside, and then I'll show you the outside after that. The reason I'm showing you the inside is to show you an issue with the light. It has a couple of issues, but this is one of the main ones for me. I have Rayovac's own batteries inside of here. You can see it's very, very thin at the back. The head is 1 inch, but it thins out towards the back. So it has a very low tolerance for the types of batteries you can put in there. I put in the alkaline batteries, those were just fine. Some of the other rechargeable batteries I've used slide in fine, but I think the rechargeable batteries in this are a little thick, and as you can see, they're very, very difficult to get out. As you can see, this is a Rayovac hybrid rechargeable battery, 2100 milliamp hours, and especially the one that's all the way in there. I mean, you have to force it out. I can't even get it out that way. I had to sort of flick the light to get that second one out. That is a major problem. That's something to think about. Also, with the batteries, since this is a fully regulated light, it has some electronics in there. Unfortunately, the electronics have a parasitic load on the battery. So I found that after about a week or so of sitting, the batteries were just about halfway drained, and I thought it was something wrong with the rechargeable battery. So I went ahead and put in a set of premium alkaline batteries, and the same effect. It went ahead and drained the batteries about halfway. The light was a lot dimmer than when I set it down. Now, fortunately, what you can do to sort of remedy that problem is back off of the threads with the tail cap here, because it is anodized all the way up to the threads, so you can back off of it a little bit, and I found that it doesn't drain that way. But kind of a bummer that the batteries don't fit well, and also it has that parasitic load. Something to think about if you're going to buy this. So let me put the batteries back in. You can see they're even hard to force in there, which is a major problem for me. Oh, just want to show you this one thing. It does have an O-ring on it. It comes pretty dry from the factory, though. I don't understand that they didn't put any type of lubrication on the threads or the O-ring, which is unfortunate. But again, this is a pretty inexpensive light, $25 to $30. So taking a look at the head, you can see it uses optics versus a reflector. Has a little magnification thing in there, and you can see the LED sort of off to the side. There's no reflector in there. It actually works pretty well. I have some flashlights that use this. Produces a square beam, which is alright with me. You know, it's not that bad. Has the spot to focus system, so the way you operate that is you twist the light. But you'll notice that it has a large dark spot in the middle. So what I've been doing is mainly just using the spot. And since it's sort of a square, it has a really wide hot spot. So I haven't found a need to use it. It's still wider than some of the other flashlights that I've used with reflectors and have similar configurations. I believe the one I compared it to was a 115 lumen 2AA light made by Coleman, and it had a much wider hotspot, so the focusing wasn't needed. As far as my overall opinion on this light is, you know, with those two issues, I wouldn't recommend this for someone who uses a flashlight and uses it all the time. Maybe someone who's a flashlight nerd like me, I'm pretty sure you would find a lot of faults, even more faults than I found with this. But if you're looking for a cheap light, something you can throw in your glove compartment, something you can keep in your house just in case of a power outage emergency. Again, this has very long battery life, up to 14 hours worth of good usable light. I would recommend it for that. But again, the self-draining issue, so you might want to keep the batteries out of it, or either back off the threads so that you're not activating it, or keep the cap off completely. So nice looking light. I mean, the design is nice, but those two issues with the clearance issue and the self-draining doesn't allow me to recommend this light to you guys who are flashlight nerds like me. Looks nice. Hopefully Rayovac corrects that problem in the future. And I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Thanks for watching. Peace.